So that's why we go, you see the Premier in the bottom right there, the length along the back, that's where the winner is in that. And that's where the live weight gain comes from. That's where their live weight gain, their kill out percentage is very good also. This is the trial flock. Now this takes up 20% of our flock. I got involved in this, I say, 10 years ago. This is our worst flock. They are not the most prolific we have. You show prolificity figures there, I was sitting between 150 and 160. This flock here usually are about 145. But this is experimental. And we're actually paid to run this flock. It's lovely when you get that sort of thing. It's not enough though. Whenever we work out the losses that we have, that 145 makes a difference. It's about $2,000 a year, involves so much of you. But I'll tell you what I have learnt from that, you can't put money on. It's helped me take my flock forward, and I have no problem working alongside AFB on these on these trials.
5 minutes, Crosby.
No problem. There's the different ones we're working. The Primera, the Highlander Cross, New Zealand Suffolk. Hi. The first time we were asked to use New Zealand Suffolk, oh Jesus, I come in there and you took a look at that compared to the ordinary Suffolk ram that the UK has, the lovely head and the lovely legs and all this sort of thing. Out they come the first year, the ewes start to lamb. As soon as the black lamb come out, you knew, New Zealand, it's up and sucking. Oh, that's a UK one there. Hold on, we'll go and teach it how to suck. Very basic. Honestly, it was that obvious. You even put a teat in the mouth and spat it out. What do you do with that? No hate on that one. And the tags are lovely to look at, absolutely lovely to look at. But our ones aren't as prolific as what the ones were up in Bow Hill now. But that's a very good flock. So what I'm saying to you is that the breeds, they're my raw material. The genes, that's where it all comes from. At the minute, I've been using Rissington to bring us forward in this. Now the makeup of the Primera, it is a hybrid. Mostly really the Suffolk and the Dorset Horn. The Highlander is coming from maternal side, and that's what those are there for. The Highlander's not there to look at. It's there to get you faster growing and more prolific sheep. And don't say no to a ewe that says 3. This is what our system works on. If you look up in the top right, that's the shed we feed them in. The ground is now rested. The bottom left, ewes lamb, they're brought out the back here and straight into the middle, into the individual pens. They're then taken out into a bigger pen where they're sent onto the field. So the mismothering is taking place up in there, hopefully not, but that's where we're moving them on from. The one thing I was talking about, those triplets. Once they're scanned as triplets, why do a lot of people send their singles back to the field? That is rocket fuel. The grass is far better than any silage. We send our triplets out. We keep the singles in. If we had room, we put the doubles out and let them lamb outside. But the singles, they don't need that good grass. The first year I did it with the AFB team again, they took them out and I said, right, after 6 weeks, Crosby, no meal to this flock. Put them out 6 weeks before the lamb. Oh, of course, you're always smarter than the white coats, aren't you? You know far better as a farmer. Those boys are the white coats. They're not going to tell me what to do. I let them out 7 weeks before, put them onto a reseed. They did exactly what our sheep did last year. There was one had a 9 kilo lamb. Killed her. They're throwing the stomach out. Wrong. But it showed me how good that grass was out there. And we bring them forward. That shot that you see up in the top right, there's an electric fence behind it. That fence is moved every day. Those are paddocks near the yard. We allow them to lamb outside. But 1 year actually we let the whole thing run as a whole paddock and they mudded it up. We had to bring the sheep in. After 4 days, those triplets were lambing with one dead because we took the good nutrition away from them. So grass again. Reseeding, very, very important. The Albergrass seeds, yes, we brought those in, the high sugar, and we can see the difference. I have shown the difference in the fig. I believe it. I've shown how the Aber seed, the Albergrass is actually giving us a far better live weight gain. Meal or no meal, yeah, okay. A few years ago, 4 years ago, New Zealand boys, well, you don't need meal with these sheep. Okay, fine, I'll not give it to them. It emptied out of this, after we sheared them, it emptied out of the sky the next day. And all those 200 lambs were hiding behind the hedge. And I put meal into them. What the hell is that? Some of those lambs lost 10 kilos in a week. So we always allow them, some of them anyway, to get meal so we know something to draw them forward. That's what we find out by our own mistakes in that one. Clover, very, very important. Bring the clover into the sward. We're not frightened. I showed earlier on the stitching. We're not going to the plough. I can save £80 an acre by stitching behind. Cut a field of silage, get in afterwards, let the sheep tramp the seed down onto it, and we're getting a far better reseed Maybe won't last as long, but we use aerators. This is how we work our grazing pattern and use the plate. Give so many fields to a certain batch of ewes, and you can work out how many days. One of them there is 40 days and one and 14 the other. So we took that flock over to one of those fields, and that's how we manage our grassland, to try and get us. That's why we have 6 ewes, over 6 ewes to the acre. There's a work of that. 6 centimetres, that's the height you want to send grass, send sheep into a field on. That's the perfect height. I believe it. Whenever I get the 8 and 12 centimetres, a lot of rud, a lot of stuff left on it, and that's when I need these ewe lambs to go in and tidy up the field afterwards. Minerals, okay, this is going to do better than that, so on and so forth. I want a proof. This guy wanted me to try something. I said, fine, give it to me and I'll try it for you. And he did. I put it in 4 flocks. It proved better than every one of them. We're short of selenium, and we had to get cobalt as well, so we know what we needed. We proved in all 4 that to do better from it. Okay, we're using this. Used to use the Signet system, but because it's over here, without getting into the whole story and the costs, Sheep Ireland's better from my point of view. They work on 5 stars. You'll see in the overall lambing, there's 4 columns there that I work from. But how do I bring that into my own figures without going deep into those? When I have our own Shearwell system under the management tag part, you'll see the 3rd column there, 4543 W36D New Zealand. What that tells me is 4 stars, 5 stars in production side. It's only 3 stars in the maternal side. From the 3. W, it was weaned 360 grams per day. It was a double. The D means a double. And it came from the New Zealand ram. I can now pick the ewes that have to go to certain rams from that column. And that's how I keep the figures going through our system. You learn what suits your system and make sure you have a ready reckoner. When that comes up in the handling pens that we have, and the Zion readers bringing us up, I know which one goes well. We'll have them all drafted off on computer, not by looks. I know their performance. The hell with the looks. I see them in the meat plant, you wouldn't know the difference in them. Money in there. Right, my future yo, she has to lamb unassisted. At present I'm doing the Cleland and the Highlander composite. They've got excellent maternal behaviour. We follow that through and we score them all the traits all right through. 55, 65 kilos. She has to win her own body weight. Well, she's a better chance of winning her own body weight than what the 95 kilo one had, when you think of the lamb and half and various things. So I'm going to get my money back there. Resistance to worms and 4 or 5 crops, very important to the whole setup. Now, very quickly, and without going too deep into them, sorry, I've just 2 more to go. But over there is what the winning weights were. On the system, every lamb to each of those rams individually single mated. That's showing the live weight gain. The reds are showing the best ones. But over here were the winning weights. And it's wonderful the difference that came. And you have to assess those. You don't pick it just from the first column. And also the prolificity comes into it, because you see the red 189, 200, 185, 183. If you follow those through in certain breeds, you know what ones you're going to head to. But it's a lot of decision making to make there. Nearly too many figures, but I've got used to them now and I know what I want to head for. And they're getting better each year, so it's working. That's the whole point. Sorry for rushing on here, but I know you want to get home like myself and I have a flight to go and I don't want to stay here. Because you can't understand me. The recorded rams, they must produce lambs which can grow rapidly. Has to grow very quickly. And I want to produce to 17, 21 kilos. Produce rams that have desired eating quality, and that's what these particular ones are showing within the trials at AFBI. They've shown that these breeds that we're using are going that way. They have to be able to mate, go out to the disco and have 120 ewes at it. So at the end of the day, folks, I do hope you understood me. You don't have to agree with me. That's what I believe suits my farm. And thanks for listening to me. God help you.